Hey, good afternoon. It's Red Pill 66 coming at you from my new office setup. I had my office set up downstairs on my first floor, but we're going to be setting up for Christmas decorations. So I had to move all of my stuff from downstairs to upstairs to the spare bedroom, which I actually kind of like to set up a little bit better. But today, I was coming at you because a lot of interesting things going on. If you know, right now, you have in Arizona the hearing going on in front of their Senate. And I've only caught bits and pieces of it. I will catch everything else later on because, of course, it's way too long and I just have too much stuff to do. So I decided to wait till later to get some of just the talking points. But one of the reasons I'm on today was an article came out today from the Epoch Times, which was from today, and sorry, my glasses are a little spotty and I need to clean them off. So hold on one second, I'll do that while I'm on the phone with you. Well, while you're on my phone, because that's when everything's hooked up. And of course, I'm not going to edit this out because this is true life and this is really me. I space things out. I misspeak because I'm not perfect. Anyway, I am not somebody with high energy and I'm not somebody with extremely low energy. I do tend to smile when I'm happy. And today, I'm really not happy because it's raining out. And really raining out and windy. And apparently this is what it's going to be like even through tomorrow. So that's not going to be fun. I like the sun. I like to be outside in the sunny weather with my friends, with my Trump flag and their flags, and waving at everybody and getting a lot of beeps. And then you still have your triggered people. But I'm going to go back to what I originally wanted to do today with this. As I said, there's an article by the Epoch Times and Zachary Stieber, or it could be Stieber, but I do believe it's Stieber, wrote an article, and the title of the article is Judge Schedules Hearing in High-Profile Georgia Election Case. Now, the first time I saw it, read it quick, I thought it said something else. What do you think it said? And I'm like, electric is what I read the first time. Or execution. That'd be even better. We execute some of these people who cause treason or who are charged with treason. They should be executed. But anyway, I'm going to read this article really quick and then go over maybe just a couple of other things. But the judge on Sunday who ordered Georgia officials not to wipe or reset voting machines scheduled the next hearing in the case for Friday. U.S. District Judge Timothy Batten Sr., a George W. Bush appointee, issued 3 emergency orders on Sunday, initially ordering officials to hold off on taking action regarding the machines, reversing himself, then reestablishing the first order. So it was really chaotic yesterday. All excited, the judge is for it, then he's against it, and then he redoes it. In a November 30th order, Batten said his final decision on Sunday, partially granting the defendant's motion, involves a controlling question of law as to which there is substantial ground for differences of opinion, and that an immediate appeal from the order may materially advance the ultimate termination of the litigation. The order enables defendants to appeal the temporary ruling in the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. Defendants were ordered to file their brief by December 2nd, while any reply brief will be due December 3rd. In a third filing, defendants and Charlene McGowan, Georgia's Assistant Attorney General, will be appearing on behalf of the defendants, which include Governor Brian Kemp, Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, and state election board members. A spokeswoman for the Office of the Attorney General, Chris Carr, told the Epoch Times via email that the office is unable to comment on legal proceedings outside of the court filings. The plaintiffs are represented by the attorney Sidney Powell. They successfully convinced Batten on Sunday to bar officials in 3 counties from wiping or resetting Dominion voting system machines. There's a lot here. Plaintiffs are seeking to have outside experts perform forensic inspections of voting machines. The judge ruled that defendants are enjoined and restrained from altering, destroying, or erasing, or allowing the alteration, destruction, or erasure of any software or data from the Dominion voting machines in Cobb, Gwinnett, and Cherokee counties. Also ordered the board to promptly produce to the plaintiffs a copy of the contract between the state and Dominion. Dominion says on its website that no credible reports or evidence of any software issues exist, including in Georgia. Powell wrote on Twitter late Sunday that Georgia election fraud is being exposed. Who benefited from the hurry up #Dominion contract in the hashtag Georgia, she added. And that's the end of the article. I really, really hope that they find all this fraud and that these machines are not altered in any way at all. So that way they can see votes being changed, the vote, dead people voting twice, people that have left the area and voted somewhere else in their new area with their change of address, and that kind of stuff. So, sorry. Gotta wipe my glasses again. Apparently I didn't do a good job. Anyway, so hopefully they find all of that. Now, as you know, or you may not know, that Sidney Powell apparently filed in 3 different courts, 3 different states. I think Michigan was one of them. Georgia. You know, I'm not 100% sure where else, but I heard it was 3. In any case, I really think that Governor Kemp is dirty. Just like I think that in my state, my governor, we call him Charlie Baker, is on China's payroll. We will find that proof. We also, a lot of us are convinced that the mayor of Boston is also on China's payroll. Back maybe 6 months ago, 7 months ago, the Secretary of State came out with he had done a let me just make sure I have this right. I just want to look it up. Okay. I'm sorry. As I said, I having a hard time finding. But anyways, it was Mike Pompeo, and he had done a briefing with the different governors, different mayors about people being friendly with China, and that they know who they are, and that they need to stop. And I honestly think that in my state, we have a governor and we have the mayor of the biggest city, one of the biggest cities in this state, that are on the payroll of the CCP. I really wish that he had come out with a list of who it was so that us as taxpayers, people that voted these clowns in, now can get them out, have them impeached, have them arrested. Don't know. I mean, just a lot. I am not a big fan of Charlie Baker. And you're going to go, I'm going back even before this COVID happened. And someday I'll get into my other reasons for not liking him. Besides the fact that he's a rhino. Anyway, you have so much fraud out there that even some of the mainstream media is turning around now and saying, well, there is fraud out there, but it really doesn't matter. We should just move on and let President-elect Biden, in their opinion, just proceed. That President Trump should concede. President Trump does not need to concede. He shouldn't concede. They have so much proof of this of fraud, and I know that they're hoping that within different states, their legislative branches will say this was fraudulent. The rules that we set forth for the election were changed without our approval, so anything after this time will not be counted. So the votes that were in at this time are counted. Nothing else after. Everything else is gone. And they won't be able to take them back to court because they're the ones who made the law. The Attorney General does not have the authority to change election law. The governor does not have the authority to change election law. That has to be voted on and go through the legislative governing board. And hopefully a lot of them are getting upset now with all this proof. Pennsylvania, they already had their little testifying in front of it. It wasn't really little. Today's Arizona. Where's the next one going to be? Now, the courts are, not taking on some of these cases. So what that's going to mean is it's going to end up going to the Supreme Court, which you want it to. They need to start just getting it out there that Pennsylvania's legislative board or their Senate says, we're done. This is fraudulent. And this is going to go to President Trump. He had a 700,000 vote lead at 8 o'clock or even 10 o'clock. I'd have to look at that. And then they shut everything down. Well, then they should have been done for the night. Nothing else gets counted. And he'll get Pennsylvania. I believe the same thing is going to happen in Georgia with all this fraud. When they do a forensic audit, they are going to find all those ballots that were not legal. How do you have a district that has 150% turnout? You don't. Because if everybody in that, and if you know math, if everybody within that district went and voted, every single person, that'd be 100%. 100%. And in all honesty, 100% of a district, not everybody votes. That's it doesn't happen anywhere. Where I live in Massachusetts, we're a town. It's not a small town, but it's not a big town either. We never have 100%. Never. Could have been a little bit more this year because you have people that did mail-in voting. Yeah, it's possible. But in all actuality, I really thought the numbers would have been down this year because people were afraid of being out with COVID. And I get that. I'm not afraid of that. But in any case, so now you've done your math, okay? You'll never get 150% because 100% participation is 100, not 150. So what happened? Did all the kids vote that are under 18? Did all the dead people vote? So they're going to find a lot of this fraud. A lot of stuff's going to get overturned. I honestly think that people are going to go to jail. And it's going to be people within the election boards themselves, polling stations. If they prove who organized all of these polling stations to be doing the same thing, they're going to go after that because they'll follow the money. And if you look at what Sidney Powell put out, it's a 104-page brief along with all the exhibits, and there were like 400 something exhibits, so it's a lot to go through. I haven't read it yet, but from different people that I've watched, they're saying that they're tying that money, and Kemp's going to be in a lot of trouble. And I think a lot of other governors will too, because more and more people are digging into this. It's going to be bad for these people. Really, really bad. Excuse me, I need to take a quick drink. I'm a little dry. Anyway. One of the other reasons that I can tell that people are starting to realize how much fraud there is. There's no way that Biden got the votes that he got. Number one, with the running joke, he never left his basement. Number two, Kamala Harris. People don't like her either. People don't want to be in a socialist country. Everybody believes in their rights. And they believe in a constitution. And one of the things that makes us free and being able to do the things that we can do was because of the Constitution. So a lot of people we're not going to vote for Biden because of that. Now, he was going to get Massachusetts because he always does. New York, because it always does go blue. California, and Washington State. Now, those places, there's a good chance that they might actually be red too, because if they're all using the Dominion machines for voting to tabulate everything, because they don't do it by hand, they run it through a machine, that the machines are not supposed to be hooked up to the internet, but they are, to give them their totals. Well, if they prove all of this now in Georgia and in Pennsylvania and in Wisconsin and in Michigan, that all this went on, then they're going to start to look at other states. They may look at California, because I've been hearing people from California saying there's no way that California did not go red. There is no way. There is no way that Nancy Pelosi won her district. There's no way. People are now actually starting to speak out. You've got Democrats that are starting to speak out now, because They want honest and fair elections. Now, we're not dumb by any means that we know some cheating does go on in certain areas. When they had the ballot box stuffing, in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, even the 70s. It probably happened in the 80s as well. But once you got the computers that you could actually do these counting in these machines, nobody should be able to get into those machines and change numbers. They just shouldn't. It should just be tabulated. And in all honesty, I think every district should be every district, every polling station, they should be counting their ballots by hand. You have enough people, and then you have your poll watchers who are watching everything go on. Do it according to your state's election laws. If you follow the election laws, this stuff won't happen. Now, I remember seeing in Pennsylvania on November 3rd, videos going up of people going to the polling stations. And right at the door when you enter, they had in poster board these big signs that said, vote Democratic, vote for Biden, vote, and everybody that was in the down ballot for the Democrats, vote, 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 vote. Well, you can't do that because you cannot have things like that within 300 feet maybe. It could be 500 feet from the polling station doors. No signage, no, me being a Trump supporter, I couldn't have my Trump signs or anything like that. I couldn't even have a Trump hat on. If I did, they'd tell me I had to take it off. I can't wear it. You should be able to get into your polling station without being harassed by people. Now, where I vote, they adhere to those rules. They, the election officials, the police, they keep you at the distance you're supposed to be at. There are police at the doors, so there's no problems. Now, here I am in a state where you don't have voter ID, which you should, because this will correct a lot of this. Oops. You have, sorry, get closer. You have the police protecting everything. Now, if you had voter ID, this would fix, like I said, all of this. No mail-in voting. They used COVID as that reason. And then when they realized that they probably weren't going to have enough numbers, telling people, no, or there could possibly be fraud. No, don't mail in your ballots. Go and vote at the day of voting. Go to your station and vote that day. It was just, I don't understand. I just don't understand, seriously, how fraud can happen. I don't. Honestly, I don't know how fraud can happen. If you follow the law. If you have your poll watchers and actually being able to look and contest ballots. Hey, wait a minute, there's no signature on that one. Or, wait a minute, that was a Biden vote, not a Trump vote. That has to go in the right pile. Or vice versa. That would make things run just right. Now, there are a couple of things that I honestly think that Trump goes back is back in office, and he just wipes out everybody. Wipes them out. Starts clean. And then has Homeland Security in charge of all of the voting. That they have enough officers in every state, in every city, in every district that are controlling the polling stations. Less corruption that way. And I honestly think that Trump will do something where voter ID is mandatory. And I know where I was going with this, with the voter ID. In this town that I live in, which there's only one place you go to vote. That's it. Everybody goes to this one school. The precincts are divided up. You walk in and you go, oh, okay, this is my precinct. You go up to the table. They say, what street do you live on? You tell them your street. And what's your name? You tell them your name. And they go, okay, which ballot would you like? Because I'm registered as unenrolled. So during the primary, I had my choice. Well, of course, I went Republican because I wasn't going to vote for anybody else. But in any case, you go in, they give you your ballot, you go, you do everything, then you walk back over to a table, you check out, and then you go put it in the machine yourself, and then you got to watch it. And a lot of people don't watch that going through. I watch it, and it says accepted. Sometimes if you put it in wrong, it'll say, oops, put it in again. You put it in upside down or something. So, in our state, well, in my city, people don't, they're not, in my town, they're not cheating. Well, even coming from the town that I'm in, I may know some of the people that are actually sitting at the tables, but most of them I don't. And you should have to give your ID. You should have to give an ID. It just makes sense. I know with absentee ballots, you have to request an absentee ballot. And then your signatures have to match what your signature card is when you register to vote. It blows my mind. And you know why we don't have voter ID? It's because of the Democrats. They don't want it because they know that if you have voter ID, they can't cheat anymore. They can't. You walk in with your ID, it matches. And